Hi, I'm Eli Clayman, and I'll be talking about BioShock Infinite and how it relates to some of the theories we've been talking to in class. First, I'd like to go into self-determination theory because I think within BioShock Infinite, which is a single-person shooter slash kind of adventure game, um, self-determination theory is kind of one of the main driving forces of the game. All right, so to begin in this first clip, I go through the main kind of menu screens within the game, the one for objectives, gear, weapons, figures, and voxophones. And basically, those are kind of the home base for the game. How you track, which gear you have, which weapons you have, which upgrades slash modifications you've already done to these things. And then the vigors are kind of your special abilities. You can track which one of those you have. And then finally, the voxophones, which are kind of the game's story building element of things you can collect. The voxophones are basically a recording of a certain figure slash character in the game that you can collect to kind of world build more and kind of gain more of they're an optional thing to collect. You can kind of gain to get a better sense of the world and the different characters and different elements of the story that you wouldn't get otherwise just from the main game. So I think all of these elements together add to the autonomy and competence kind of parts of self-determination theory, where the game kind of, as you level up and get more gear, get more weapons, that kind of thing, at least in my experience, allowed me to feel more competent in the game, and you get better and it becomes easier to kill lower level enemies, so you kind of get that sense of competence. And then from the autonomous perspective, you get to kind of pick and choose what weapons you want, what gear you want, and how and where to find them, and what loadouts you want to use. In this next clip, it's more me highlighting the autonomous aspects within the game. It is me exploring around an area of the game and kind of looking for various items, which can be found either on bodies, in chests, that kind of thing, or just around. Those items vary from health-related items like fruits or health packs, ammo for the various weapons in the game, or salt, which is how you get more. It's kind of the energy method for the vigors, like the special abilities I talked about earlier. And within the game, there's a lot of autonomy there. Like, personally, I'm someone who, when I get into a new area in the game, I am exploring everything. I am finding all of the loot I can, all the ammo, and all the voxophones, which again are all also scattered around the area, to be picked up and played to gain that story aspect. But again, that's another thing that some players, it's a choice between players. Some players won't do that. Me personally, I would. And also in this clip, I go to a vendor. There are various vending machines within the game. There's one that's highlighted in this clip that is more of a general vending machine that you can get general health items. A lot of the items you can pick up on the ground, ammo, that thing, because money is another thing that you can, while you're exploring, you can pick up to use there. Additionally, there are other vending machines. In the next clip, I highlight one that has specific power-ups for the guns. You can get more like damage upgrades, that kind of thing, for the guns and for the vigors and those things. So the final aspect in this game of autonomy that I'd like to highlight is this kind of side quest mechanic the game has, where there's kind of either chests and safes and kind of locked rooms scattered throughout the game. And in the beginning of the game, you can go find the keys, like I did for this chest, and unlock it and get things like ammo, other special items, upgrades like I got in this chest, to again continue to add to that autonomy and kind of build your competence in the game, and even later in the game. Okay, so the final thing I want to talk about regarding BioShock Infinite is the idea of new loot slash kind of operant conditioning. So as I've talked before, one of the main aspects of this game is working towards getting these various vigors, which are kind of like your special powers in the game. They're all very outlandish. There's one where you can shoot fireballs out of your hand. There's one where you can command crows to attack an enemy for you. There's one called Bucking Bronco where you can basically force push enemies, especially to describe it. But it's basically kind of an operant conditioning feedback loop type of system in the game because like in this first clip that's playing within the game, before you were able to actually acquire these power-ups, the game teases you with them, whether that's in some of the posters or infographics, those kind of things that are scattered throughout the game, or in a voxophone where a character talks about that specific power-up that you want, or in the case of the power-up I'm highlighting here, the Raven one. To acquire that power-up, you first have to fight an enemy who already has it, so you kind of get introduced to it and teased with it. Like in this first encounter that I've recorded, you kind of get teased with that power up, and it kind of give you some positive reinforcement. Like if you and like gets the dopamine firing, like that you see it, and now you want to have that power up. So you have to keep playing the game until it gives it to you, and it does it for all the power ups. It teases them, some longer than others. And the game almost kind of taunts you, where it's like you gotta keep playing, and if you keep playing, you'll get this loot. One final aspect of this kind of operant conditioning that the game does is that before you're allowed to use the power up, it makes you watch kind of an instructional video to again kind of just hype it up that much more and kind of get you into the vibe of the game. To really want to use that power up and continue to get the other ones, so you can continue to watch the videos that they have, kind of demonstrating them in the theme of the game. And then just to conclude, these were just some of the aspects of BioShock Infinite that stuck out to me in relationship to our class, and kind of the things we were doing. So thank you for watching.